what are skills? AI agent skills, that is. You must have heard about them. There is a hype going on around skills right now. But let's look into them, what they are, and is it worth the hype? So skills are essentially a specialized module that gives some instructions to the AI agent to perform a particular task. That's what it is. And it is a standardized way of doing it. It's a de facto standard. Agent skills.io started doing it, and then everybody started picking up. So now everybody supports it. Anthropic Claude supports it. Gemini supports it. And Copilot and all these other coding agents now support it. Let's see what they are, and is it worth the hype around these things? So skills are essentially a file. It's a file that's named as a skill.md, usually. And it has certain components. A markdown file, as you can see from the extension. It has to have optionally defined name. Otherwise, the folder name can work as the name of the skill. And then it has a mandatory field called description. So you have to define a description section inside. It's an empty file. So, the way we define empty file, markdown file. So you have to define this description in it. This is essential. A description could be like 1 or 2 sentences or longer. Something that actually summarizes the whole skill this skill is supposed to do, and something that will tell AI agent that, okay, whenever I have to do something like this, I could use this skill to be able to do that. And that's the key part. I mean, it has to be clear enough. It should define what it is and what kind of task that it is supposed to carry out, so that the agent could tell that, okay, I have to use this particular skill and not this skill when I have to do a thing. And then after that, you actually explain the skill. And here you can put whatever you want to explain the skill. For example, you could have a skill as to how to create a front page of a website, right? So you could tell that, okay, this is how the hero section should look like, and this and that, and all this. You could even have one single skill to just define how a hero section is going to be. So if you are building a lot of websites, you could reuse that skill for every project that you're building, and it will know how to create the hero section of your website. So this is how skills are. Additionally, under skills, you could have folders, and those folders could have resources folders inside it, or any other kind of folders that you want. And inside it, you could typically have a certain thing, like you have scripts or something that you put those in there. So you could have like Python scripts in here to actually deliver or carry out the operation or tasks. These will be your tools actually that this skill could use. But inside this explanation, you are going to tell that how these tools can be used in order to perform a certain subtask inside that skill. So yeah, that's all the skill is. It's a markdown file which explains all these things. So what is the benefit of doing something like this? What happens is that when you send a query to that AI agent, the AI agent is going to evaluate the query, and then it's going to go through all the descriptions of all the skills that you have in your project, and it's going to figure out whether for that particular query which skills it's going to use. So the advantage here is that in the context, it's only going to pass description of all the skills in the beginning. And then it will identify which skill is worth it. And then once it finds out, then it's going to take the rest of the skill and add it to the context. That way, you keep your context small and it's sufficient. You could basically go back and forth with the AI agent faster. And not only just that, most importantly, it uses less tokens so that it is minimal cost to the user. So the question is skills revolutionary? Is it great? It is a great thing. There is no doubt about it. But is it as big of a deal as the hype that you see around it? Maybe not. I mean, it is essentially a prompt, right? So it's the same thing. You could take this whole thing and put it as just a file and pass it as a prompt. But that's a little bit cumbersome, right? Every time when you pass the query, you will have to refer to that file, and that's how it becomes the context. Or AI agent could choose to basically make this as the context, and it could be cumbersome, and it could be more expensive relatively, and it could be completely useless for the query that it's currently processing. So in order to make it simpler and cheaper for the user and faster, the skills is the great way of doing things. So it is essentially, we said that, okay, let's break up our context into modules and let the AI agent just bring in a very small context, which in this case is the description. And then based on that, it could determine what the rest of the stuff is going to be brought into the context. And that's all what the skills actually do. So it's a great thing, no doubt about it. But it's not a real big deal. I mean, it's just a matter of standardizing the skill file and letting AI agent know that, okay, you need to basically first bring in all these descriptions, and then, this could be actually coded into the AI agent software itself, that it would just filter out the description from all these skills and just use that as the context before it sends it over to the LLM for processing. And then LLM can tell that, okay, I need more information about this particular skill. And then it could basically grab the rest of the skill and then pass it. So that's all a skill is. It's a wonderful thing, but is it a revolutionary thing? Is it something that they had to do a whole bunch of stuff to basically accommodate? No, it is essentially the same thing. Not much different than sending a prompt and context to an LLM. So I hope this helps and clarifies all the hype around skills. If you want to get answers to your questions regarding AI, subscribe and follow me. Also, if you want to build any AI agent for your business or an app or something like that, I could help with that as well. So feel free to contact me.